This journey has been incredibly profound. And when you spoke this week in class, saying that we were family, you spoke truth. Because for the last, once a week on a Tuesday for the last 23 weeks, we have the world, literally the world, has gathered together in unity under the banner that is Meta Health. And to learn, to laugh, and to cry. And I think I can speak for everyone when I say this has radically changed us all. And you've made such a difference in our lives. So thank you, Cora, for that. So my journey into Meta Health, unknowingly, started with a healing peak, which led to an emergency appendectomy. Let me back up and I'll set the stage for that. Right before COVID hit, a friend of mine approached me with a job offer. Now, the company that I was at, I had been in full and part-time positions for, at the time, 33 years. So my mom was there, I was there, and it was hard to leave the company. But I had been doing so much soul work that I realized my soul had been invited into expansion, and I didn't know what that looked like. So I took a leap of faith and stepped into the unknown and accepted her job offer. Well, the conflict happened when, after just a few short months at the job that she had hired me for, she wanted me to do some part-time work at the new company, and that was fine. And then she wanted me to split my time between the two companies. That was fine. And then she wanted me to move altogether to the new company, and I didn't want that. And so we began to have this conflict and this battle over my salary and everything. It wasn't work I was passionate about. And so then I realized she was not hearing my voice, and my voice went silent, and I acquiesced. Well, you know how the universe tries to get your attention, and it throws little pebbles at you first, and then stones, and then when that doesn't work, rocks, and then after that, a brick, and then catastrophe. So 5 short months later, my body began to speak with the voice that I had lost. And my sweet little appendix roared and took one for the team. So for some reason unknown to me, they knew it was perforated, but waited 13 hours to do the operation. So by the time they opened me up, it was ugly. It was very ugly, and I will spare you the gory details, only to say the tip of the appendix was already gangrenous. So that's unknowingly, I had been invited into what I have now call my divine pause. So that surgery, that attack on my body, left me with a huge wound in my abdomen, with open wounds and no strength. I was out. I was on a wound vac for twice, for months each. I had another surgery in July. All of that led to a massive, complicated hernia. I literally looked 6 months pregnant on the right side of my body. And no, I am not showing you pictures. It was not fun. But that took a surgeon that was very specialized. So all of this, I still have KCT left from that because there's an edema next to the really big scar. But all of that laid me flat on my back to pause and to ponder, to listen. And I realized that the power was in the pause. Because as I began to surrender to the pause, my soul began to recognize the gifts that I didn't even realize were the meta meanings at the time. Because, I mean, who gets to lay on their front porch and watch spring open? I'm in Western North Carolina in the United States. And watch spring open literally petal by petal as spring unfurled in front of me, moment by moment. What a gift. It was such a gift. As I began to realize that there was purpose and meaning in this divine pause, my body was speaking with a language that I didn't yet have a name for. So one morning I looked up and just said, okay, God, I'm listening. I'm listening. What does this divine pause have to teach me? What is my body saying? I'd been given the message years earlier that I was supposed to work with my hands, and I didn't understand that at all because I'm a hard worker and work with my hands every single day. So I was introduced into Donna Eden, energy medicine, ASEP, Dawson Church, Heart Math Institute, and I was like neuroscience, and I was a sponge. This was years ago. I just was drinking all of this up, and I knew that I was called to something, but I could not figure out what that purpose was. And so as I lay there healing in this divine pause, I began to just do more and more research, and layer by layer, literally, I began to listen with the ears of my body and literally let my body begin to speak to me as to what this was that I was called to. And so one day I clicked on the EFT International or EFT Tapping Institute with Alina Frank and Craig Weiner. And my soul leapt with joy. I knew exactly that that was my purpose. And I began my certification process with them. And they send us a newsletter. So one day I was reading through the newsletter and came across this Meta Health course. What is that? And I clicked on it and began to read over the course curriculum, and was, again, my whole body was just like, oh, this is truth. This is what I'm supposed to do as well. So I admittedly, I wasn't prepared for how this has opened up the world of the brain-body connection and this beautiful dance of language that our bodies have been created to speak to us. I admittedly have a very long way to go as I dive deep into Meta Health and to understanding it, but I'm so grateful for the incredible wisdom that Cora has so graciously and patiently led us and guided us through. These bodies of ours are so full of wisdom. They're so wise, so fearfully and wonderfully made. And they're more wise than the mass of human knowledge accumulated even today on this 24th day of June in the year 2022. So my greatest hope is that I will continue to dive deeper into this world of meta health, and to honor the meta way of listening, the way we listen to the language that our body speaks, and that leads us into this greater wisdom and healing, and that we would all continue to show up with courage, to show up boldly and bravely, to continue to take this wisdom into the world.